we're alive, are we running circles, running around? Break down, chase the light, we're all in but on the go. Running for my life. Feel the light. Running for my life. Running for my life. Running for my life. Head high, we're alone, are we taking all in front of us? Head high, how could we know it was all along on the side? We should read between the lines and we're on the right way to go. Head high, we're not alone, oh, we are not out of luck. Running for my life. Feel the light. Running for my life. Running for my life.
Good fucking morning, everybody! Yeesh! Right, it is now 6:52 AM. I was actually very doubtful I'd actually make it through the night, but I did. I survived until 6 AM. I'm cold. And we are getting ready for practice DOS. Practice 1 was shit. Basically, the only notable thing is Logan Sargent crashed, and that's it. That's literally all that happened. Which is of course quite a lot. But that's all that happened, really. Two things I want to say quick before I start. Number one, apologies for waffling so much at the end of the previous stream. If you were there, I basically just didn't shut up about like YouTube shit for like half an hour, which I apologise for. There was no need to waffle that much, although I am a bit of a notorious waffler. And number two, the energy levels are going to be quite low today for this stream because I've been up so long now, and well, I don't even know how I'm here now to tell the story and stream this practice session. Moving on to the actual practice itself. What time is it for time in Suzuka? 3 PM is the time in Suzuka, so a nice afternoon. Obviously for me, it's the beginning of the morning. News has come in from Williams after Logan's crash. If you haven't seen the crash itself, he actually drove on grass. He came out of, I believe, turn 7, a long left-hander after the S-bends, went off, half his car his right wheels were on the grass. Oh, hang on. Shut up. His right wheels were on the grass, and rather than lift off, brake, counter steer to get back on the tarmac, he decided to go flat out for some reason. His car spun because obviously going uphill on a corner on grass doesn't bode very well for a Formula 1 car. He went straight into the barriers, and according to Williams, an update has just come through that he will not be participating in free practice 2, but they are confident that they can get the car ready for practice 3 tomorrow. In terms of just generic pace, it looked fairly back to basics. We had Red Bull as clear number ones. Well, I won't say clear, but they were 1 and 2. Looked quite good. They weren't actually that strong on the hard tyre long runs. I think Ferrari are second. I think Mercedes are third. Aston are fourth, and maybe McLaren fifth. And I'm only saying McLaren fifth because we haven't seen their full potential yet. Like I said in my stream earlier, I believe that McLaren could have one of their best weekends of the year here. Now, Suzuka does have 2 very long straights, but it also is completely jam-packed with high-speed, fast corners, which is, of course, what the McLaren likes. That's why they were so good in Australia and were actually front-running pace, was because most of that track is high speed. And obviously on that track, there's 3 long straights. Well, 2 long straights and a medium-length straight. So, who knows? We are going to begin in about 3 minutes here. David Croft on the mic, we love to see that. I'm going to have it muted personally. Well, the only reason I even like listening to David Croft is because he's a West Ham supporter. If he was any, if he wasn't that, I would honestly just mute the Sky Sports broadcast throughout the entire thing. And I'm just going to look at the live timing because, let's be honest, that just is more fun. Like, it just is. Also, want to quickly say, I have a YouTube video premiering. Oh, I've just seen a picture of a chicken burger. Anyway, yeah. I have a YouTube video, my first YouTube video in just over a week, back from a break, dropping at 2 PM. BST, it's premiered, so you can watch it live alongside me if I'm even awake. I won't be awake then, will I? Anyway, go watch it when it comes out. We begin in 2 minutes time. I actually need to get the oh shit, I still got Photoshop open, fuck off. Yeah, so I need to get the timers ready. I believe they're already good. What's this one say? 59:30, and this one says 49:30. Wait, why is that? Why does that one continuously go down? How annoying. Let's just copy this one over to this one. Do that. But that's just gonna keep going down, isn't it? Yeah, look, it keeps going down. Stop. Ah, please stop. Control audio, use custom frame rate. Refresh browser when scene becomes active. Yes, if I do this, I go off it, and then I go back on it. Yeah. What's this? Oh, yeah. It's another thing. Anyway, boom. Why isn't this working? About 30 seconds until we get underway. And then cooking will be in session. Ugh. Honestly, I think this stream is going to be a bit shit. I am slaughtered. But I'm absolutely mullered. The green flag is about to be waved though, and we will get underway. It is funny to me that when I started the stream at 3:30 in the morning, it's of course pitch black. It's now dawn, daylight, and I'm still here. Any second now, Green flag, there it is. Green flag, pit exit. And we are officially live for practice 2. Actually, wait, I need to keep those hidden, don't I? Yeah. Should I keep that? Yeah. First, hang on, I need to get the timers ready. Now, go. Boom. For the first time in forever, these timers couldn't be more live. That's incredible. So, first minute, no drivers are currently coming out. We see this quite often. Practice 2, people just don't come out. I'm not really sure why. Is there like, I mean, obviously there has to be some form of technical reason as to why they don't come out at this time, but I don't fucking know. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I have no idea. Does my kick stream really look that bad, or is that just the playback being shit? Still no cars out, by the way, 1.5 minutes in. Just need to quickly go on my kick stream, see, okay, no, it isn't that bad, it's just the playback. Okay, well, what can we talk about Formula 1 related whilst we wait for at least some cars to come out of the pits? I was waffling on earlier in my previous stream in Practice 1 about Sebastian Vettel's interest in looking for a Formula 1 seat, because Lewis Hamilton said that Vettel is a good option for Mercedes in 25. Vettel himself said that he doesn't rule out an F1 comeback. He'll come back if the package is right. And I was saying, what does that mean though? Because he's 36, he'll be 37 by the time 2025 rolls around. I mean, obviously, Fernando Alonso's still doing incredibly well at the age of like 41, 42, and he's probably going to continue for a few more years as well. But I feel like with Alonso, I mean, he might do. I don't think he does though. I don't think he's got like a family. I don't think he's got like wife, and I don't think he's got kids. So he hasn't really got any other commitments other than Formula 1. Nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. Reject females, race cars all year. Sounds great. But in Vettel's case, you know, he's got a family, he's got kids. When you're 36, you know, you're getting on a little bit. And you know, when you race in Formula 1, you probably get to see your kids, what, 3-4 times a year? And when your kids are young as well, like 5, 6, 7 years old, that's just fucked for them. So, I don't know. I was also saying, though, that he ain't going to come back to drive a Haas or an Alpine or a Stake. If he's going to come back, he's going to pick either Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, or Aston Martin. Aston Martin, they're going to be sorted for the next couple years. And basically, the only team with a vacancy is, of course, Mercedes, because Stroll's under contract, Verstappen's under contract, Perez is looking confident to get an extension, Norris and Piastri are both signed, Leclerc is signed, Hamilton's going to Ferrari, he's signed. There's nowhere for him to go other than Mercedes, and realistically, how is he going to prove to Mercedes that he has still got that spark of brilliance in him? Because even in his final 2 years in 21 and 22 for Aston, he was a bit shit. 21, he actually was quite good. I remember Hungary got that podium, but got chalked off for like a fuel flow irregularity. Baku obviously got that was it a P2 as well in Baku? So I don't know. And obviously Aston is now a way more competitive car. Back in 21 and 22, I mean in 22 especially, it was probably 8th, 9th, even maybe the 10th slowest car, whereas now it's sort of in the midfield range, bottom of the midfield. Actually, no, what even is the midfield at this point? Because obviously you got Red Bull, Mercedes, no, Red Bull, McLaren, and Ferrari, are your front runners, and then you've got Aston and Mercedes a little bit back. Are they midfield or are they front runner? Because there's only front runner, midfield, and back. There's no, like, ones in between now. What is the back? The back is probably just the Alpines, and only the Alpines and the Stakes, and then the midfield would be Haas, Williams, RB, Aston, Mercedes, front runners, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, right? That makes sense to me, but the Aston and the Mercedes are obviously quite a step ahead of the RBs, Williams, and Haas's, so it's an awkward one. But basically, at the end of the day, the only chance I see Vettel coming back, which I think if Vettel did come back, it'd be such a good thing for F1, just because of who he is, what he stands for, the things he believes in, the things he does. And of course, he's just a great driver and a lovely bloke. And yeah, how he's going to prove he's got anything left, I have no idea. Anyway, moving on from the Vettel discussion, the Sargent discussion. Like I explained many times, he drove on the grass and crashed his car. Williams, obviously, Albon binned it in Australia. Williams gave Albon Logan's car. And now this weekend, Logan has Albon's repaired car, and Albon still has Logan's car, and now Logan has binned the repaired car. Luckily for him, it didn't seem like a big incident. He did clatter the wall a bit, but it seems to only be the front right and the front wing, which are obviously by no means an easy repair, but it isn't race-ending or weekend-ending damage. They should be able to get that ready for practice 3 tomorrow. So in this session, we are only going to have 19 drivers. Although the way it's looking, we're going to actually have no drivers, because we are 7 minutes into this session now and still no one's come out. And even Ricciardo, who is now in the car, because of course in practice 1 Ayumi Iwasa was driving, even he's just not even, he ain't even got his helmet on or his race gear. I'm wondering what the conditions are like. We can take a look. Here it says low grip conditions at 55. So that was 5 minutes before we began. It said low grip conditions and wet track. Oh, so it's raining. Or it was raining. Oh, there's a few people with some raincoats on. That geezer's fallen asleep. Honestly, it's quite lucky that I haven't fallen asleep. Oh, what an interesting fun stat from F1 there to show about George Russell. George Russell, currently 10 points ahead of teammate Lewis Hamilton. How has he done that? He literally DNF'd. Oh, wait. Hamilton also DNF'd. That makes sense, actually. Magnussen, not in the car. It seems like the teams know that it's probably going to clear up a bit soon. We're going to get some more grip, but I don't know. I reckon I'd still be out there. It doesn't actually seem to be raining now. There are some people. It's like half the fans here have got like raincoats on, and the other half don't. Oh, there's an Ayrton Senna flag. That is sick. I don't know how. I mean, that just shows his influence. Someone's brought Ayrton Senna flag to the Japanese Grand Prix. Well done. Oscar Piastri in the car, not out the pit, but in the car. 10 minutes in, still no drivers on track. Oh, fucking hell. And, well, I thought it couldn't get more dull than FP1. Here we are in FP2, and we've got no cars. Cold. What can I even, like, I need to spam my Twitter more, like tweets and things. But I never know what to, like, to type. Hang on, I'm typing. Right. 12 minutes in, still no cars. Oh, yeesh. I think we will eventually get some, but yeah, it's looking a bit bleak at the moment. They've actually just they've just rolled some adverts on the Sky Sports broadcast. It's that dead. Wow. I don't know what else to tweet. I need to tweet things. After a first look at Logan's car following his FP1 incident, there is extensive damage to the front suspension as well as the gearbox. However, the chassis looks okay. The team will attempt to repair Logan's car in time for FP2. Yeah. And I was banging on about Vettel about 5 minutes ago. Here's a quote from the man himself, which is what he actually said. A return to F1 might be appealing and interesting, but it really depends on the full package because it is a big commitment. So there you go. He's basically saying, I'm only coming back if it's a good team. Let's be honest, that's only Mercedes. Fuck me, it's boring, isn't it? Right, any cars? A car! Let's go! We have a car on the track in the Grand Prix Practice 2 session, and it is none other than Lewis Camilto on the mediums. What an absolute legend of the sport. Fucking hell. Mate, I was running out of things to talk about. I was just going to full end stream and piss off to bed. But Hamilton has saved the day. What an absolute ledge. Thank you so much. If he goes straight back in the pits, I'm actually going to like walk out the room and leave. Yes! He's doing laps! Sector times, go! Come on! Oh, let's go. Oh, we actually have a car on the racetrack. And now if his Sector 1 time is, yeah, that might inspire some other teams to pop out as well. So we can see Hamilton's first Sector 1 time. I don't know if he's going to give it the full beans on lap 1. We can see by Sector 1, we're seeing low 32s on the softs in practice 1. Through Sector 1, Hamilton is going to do it, what, 34, 35? 36. So about 3-4 seconds off the pace. Is that enough to edge some teams to come out? Edge. James vows in a post-practice interview, the chassis's okay, fortunately, but everything else isn't. That is hilarious. I'm fucked, mate. Little like 6-year-old child at the Japanese Grand Prix. He's got a nice sign. It says, "Sorry, teacher, for skipping school. Ferrari is my excuse." Well done. Why have you wrote in English though? You're Japanese from Japan, in Japan. Why would you write a sign in English? Anyway, Daniel Ricciardo has just come out of the pits. He needs a good session. He needs a good weekend as Hamilton comes into the pits. He needs a really strong outing this weekend in Japan. He was so shit in Bahrain. He was shit in Saudi. He was in Australia. Got his lap time deleted for track limits, which of course is his fault. And then he was okay in the race, but nothing special. And obviously, before the season, there were idiots. Not me. I was one of the only smart people. But there were so many people saying that Ricciardo should replace Perez at Red Bull purely because Ricciardo set a what's the word I'm looking for? A unrealistic lap time at Silverstone. And of course, most people thought, again, not including me, people thought that Ricciardo was going to batter Tsunoda. But Tsunoda's really showing this year. He's capable. I don't think Tsunoda is anything more than what he is now. As in, I don't think he can drive for a top team. I don't think he's quite got that. I think he's like a Perez in a Force India, or a Hulkenberg in a Renault, or even a Ricciardo in a Renault. You're like, these drivers that are driving midfield cars and making them excel, really, like, way higher than they should be. I feel like that's what Tsunoda will be good at. I can't see him being a Red Bull driver. Maybe when Perez retires, because I'm pretty sure he'll stay at Red Bull beyond this season. Ricciardo with an insane Sector 2 time. Where has that come from? A 68.3. Wow. No, that's impressive. I don't think you guys understand how impressive that is. That's an insane lap time. And Ricciardo has come back in the pits. So we are 20 minutes in. We are a third of the way through this practice 2 session. We've had 2 cars out on track. No one's done a lap. And now everyone's back in. My goodness, right. Another quote from Vettel says, "I feel bloody young with all the guys that are signing big contracts. Being around for longer, it looks like I could have another 10 years in the sport." Honestly, this is the thing with Formula 1. You need to have lightning fast reactions. That's about it. And what I'm trying to say is that you can't have lightning quick reactions when you're getting into your late 40s, because it just naturally goes away. Muscle strength, neck strength, being able to like control G-forces, you can do that at any age until like your 50s or 60s. It just takes a bit more effort, which you already have to put so much. Like, you have to do so much effort, even for these young people, these young drivers, to get the neck muscles. But it's even harder for the elderly, aka Fernando Alonso. But other than that, there's no reason why these drivers can't go until their late 40s. I'd say about 48, 49 is the limit. That's when, you know, body parts start deteriorating a bit. But I reckon you can easily. When I say easy, I don't mean like it's easy to be an F1 driver. I mean, when you're a driver like of Fernando's caliber, or Hamilton's caliber, or Vettel's caliber, I feel like you can drive in F1 into your late 40s and still be competitive. So, you know, Vettel in 10 years will be 47, and you know, fuck it, you might as well, mate, have a couple more years for the banter. Do you know what I mean? Could be a good laugh. The F1 Australian Grand Prix Twitter account just said, about to watch an F1 session during daylight. What is this luxury? Again, we take that for granted nowadays here in the UK and Europe in general, having pretty much every single race happen at a very good time for us. Sergio Perez has had some new parts fitted. Specifically, he's had a new internal combustion engine, a new TC, an MGUH, an MGUK, and an EX. I don't know what an EX is. There's no penalties, and there we go. No incident here between Hulkenberg and someone else. Let's see what happened here. What? Why don't you just look at? I'm so confused. Black and white flag for Hulkenberg, failing to follow race director's instructions, crossing the pit line at pit exit. Oh, fuck off. He went hard. He put his right wheels over the to the right of the pit lane, which is just grass, and you're gonna try and penalise him for it. Fuck off. Tell you what though, Vettel looks surprisingly young. Like, you look at Fernando Alonso, you can see he's in his late 30s, early 40s. Vettel looks about 23. I don't know how he's done that. Max Verstappen, obviously, he's got a new hair trim, looking like a 21 goal and assist striker for Schalke 04. If you know, you know. Just search up Patrick Schick and you'll know what I mean. Little radio message from Iwasa during FP1 RB team principal, whoever the fuck, saying, a clean session, you should be pleased. Good job. Iwasa replying, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. Gold. Wait, the drivers themselves are not only out of their race suits and out of the car, but they're now just walking about the pit lane taking photos. Surely, this is what I'm trying to figure out. Surely you would still do some laps at this point. Because you never know, come race day, there could be conditions similar to these, and then you're fucked. So, I'm puzzled. I'm truly puzzled. Oh. Yeah, this is rough. Anything else interesting? Anything else? Will Lando Norris take his first ever F1 win this season? That's a great question. Yeah, he will. I think he will. I think McLaren have the clear third fastest car this season. And if something like what happened in Australia, where the two Red Bulls were really bad, one DNF, one had severe damage, and we're at a track, say, Qatar or Mexico, McLaren's strongest tracks, I think he can do it. But you can't knock off Piastri, you really can't. He's good, he's rapid, he's really showing what a rookie in his rookie season should be doing. Oh, and it's got even worse for us, lads. Apparently the rain has just started again. I'm not even fucking about. Apparently it's just started raining again, so there is a very high probability we might not get any running in this session whatsoever. That'd be a funny turn up, wouldn't it? I stay up 2.5 hours after FP1 finished. Tired out of me Brian's. Only for there nothing to be. In practice 1 or 2, whatever the fuck it is. That would be hilarious, let's be honest. It just would. Still no— oh, you poor soul. This little baby's been brought to the fucking— right, that's passion. You got this Japanese couple in their mid-30s with the full kit wanker Red Bull Racing stuff on, with a baby, a year-old baby being carried in the woman's arms with a full Red Bull kit on. That's cold. And also about 600 quid's worth. Was it worth it? Apparently the rain is now coming down in numerous amounts, and hang on, we might be getting some cars on track. I think the drivers and the teams have come to the conclusion that it's gonna be a rainy session. Let's stick on the rainy tyres and get out there. And yes, at nearly the halfway mark here in Japan, Oscar Piastri comes out. Will it be a one-off and it will go straight back in, or will we finally see some actual action in this weekend? By the way, I was also mentioning at the start of my stream earlier about Perez talking about the FIA's inconsistencies. Here's the quote that this is what he actually said, not just me trying to remember. This is what he actually said, what came out of his gob. And it reads, my take is that the penalty given to Alonso last race weekend was definitely a bit too much over the limit. I'd say a bit unnecessary to do so. But my biggest fear is that we might see this incident again this weekend, or next weekend, and probably nothing will happen. That's my biggest fear, because we've been struggling a lot to keep the consistency within the penalties. For example, in Jeddah, there was a block of Valtteri Bottas in Q1 at 300 kph, with 2 cars, Behrman and Albon. No penalty. I block Hulkenberg, he lost half a tenth, and he goes faster on the lap after, and I get 3 places. So I think the biggest talking point should be consistency. If incidents like this are going to be penalised, they have to be penalised every single weekend. Because as a driver, it hurts a lot when you work your ass off, and then you see this inconsistency. There it is. Also just point out, Piastri's gone straight back in the pits. God's sake. I'm going to lose my shit. We are halfway through this session. Ion, Guan Yu Zhou's now popped out, and Yuki Tsunoda. Do we find it? Yes. What a time to be alive. We actually have cars on track. I repeat, cars on track. We have both RBs of Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo and Guan Yu Zhou. Oh, yes. And Valtteri Bottas. Yes. And Valtteri Bottas as well. What a time to be alive. Finally, I can actually talk about on-track action. It might be the 4 most irrelevant drivers on this grid, but no one gives a fuck. Ugh. I don't know if anyone saw that clip as well, but during media day, when they have the press conference, you had George Russell and Max Verstappen and 3 other drivers. They asked George Russell about the incident with Alonso in Australia, and Russell basically said that there's no hard feelings, as coincidentally I bumped into Fernando in a coffee shop. And then Max, just out of nowhere, just said, did you brake test them? And it's just smug, isn't it? It's class. By the way, Guan Yu Zhou has gone straight back into the pits. Yuki Tsunoda has stayed out. What a time to be alive. We are just now over halfway through this session, and both RBs have stayed out. And they're on intermediate tyres. Ugh. I'm knackered. Alright, chances of rain in Suzuka. FP1, less than 20. FP2, 20. Well, it's raining badly. FP3, less than 20. Qualifying, 20. Race day, 40. Ooh. Anyway, Alex Albon. I'm going to leave the phone alone now. We have cars on track. It's time. Alex Albon. Now also out on track. We have 27 minutes remaining. All 3 of these drivers are on the intermediate tyres. But surprisingly, Tsunoda only like 4 seconds back. Or even, 4 seconds or maybe even 3 seconds back through the first sector, from the soft tyre to the inters. And obviously through that first sector there's a lot of high-speed corners, so the fact that he's only lost 3 seconds is a bit wild to me. But he goes fastest within 1 minute 42.3, and then Daniel Ricciardo does a 1 minute 46.4. Yeesh, that's bad. Daddy Rick, what are we up to? Honestly, I don't have the passion for this. I might just get off. If there were cars on track, like a lot, there's a lot to commentate over, I wouldn't mind. But I don't know. In the meantime, we'll see if there's anything else on Twitter. Just while we basically at this point just kill some time. I'm just longing for this session to end, because at the moment I don't think we're going to see any running whatsoever. For some reason, even though there's a very decent chance of rain come race day, none of the drivers want to come out and do some laps on the inters / the wets. I don't know why. Well, you might as well. You've got infinite fuel and you've got loads of inters. Just stick a pair on and go for some laps. You know what I mean? Both RBs still out. Tsunoda stays out. I believe he's beginning a lap. We can see how he gets on. We're actually going to go on board and look through the sectors. So he's green down the straight. Green going into turn 1. He is green into turn 2. Green through turn 3. Purple through turn 4. Green through turn 5 and 6. Purple through turn 7, all the way up the hill into the fast double right of turn 8 and 9. Purple through there, making his way up to the hairpin of turn 10 and 11. Still running Purple. Getting round that hairpin, turn 11, and now onto a, on the track map, he actually goes yellow through turn 11, and Ricciardo goes fastest through turn 6. Now, around the big hooped corner, which doesn't actually look that curved, but it is, goes purple, green, and purple. Round turn 13, he goes purple, and round turn 14, he goes purple. And now he's making his way down the back straight, heading into 130R, purple through there, yellow through the second part of the straight, through 130R, he's going to go purple, Ricciardo faster through turn 14, Tsunoda around the final two corners, turn 16 and 17, he's going to go purple, round turn 18, the final corner, across the line, Tsunoda improves his lap time and does a 1 minute 40.946, now looking on board Ricciardo. It's mostly green with a great sector 3, comes round the final corner and goes second fastest with a 41.9, so a whole second behind his teammate Tsunoda, despite having a faster sector 3 only by 3 milliseconds. He lost it all in the first sector. He was a second down in the first sector, and then on pace in sector 2 and 3, so that's a bit insane. Visa Cash Up RBF1 team admin wanting them to stop the clock because it's an RB 1 and 2 right now. And to be fair, it's still only the RBs that are out on track. On the Inters, chilling. We have had Piastri, Joe, Bottas, Albon and Hamilton all do some laps as well, but they just came out, done one lap and went straight back in. Hamilton on the radio said that it was dry, and then he came back in the pits and it started raining again, so it's gone horribly wrong there. And this could honestly go down in history as one of the most pathetic, boring sessions in F1 history. That, like, nothing's happened. It's just a battle between the two RBs. And are they even going for laps anymore? Yellows and yellows. No. So, like, what's the fucking point? Here's, that's not good. Here's Sergio Tequila Perez's quote. This is what he said, which is of his relationship within the team and contract speculations. Of course, pretty much every non-Red Bull fan, and even most Red Bull fans, want Checo gone because he's shit. I hate that. Too much abuse for the Mexican lad. He said, "The situation is that we are happy, team and driver. I believe it's a matter of time before we sit down and try to get an agreement to extend my contract. At the moment, there is nothing more to say." Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda have both pitted, which means with 20 minutes remaining, we once again have no cars on track. Can we get a no, Michael? That was so not right in the chat, please. Thank you. Hey, that's a thought. I completely forgot McLaren have got a special livery for the weekend, haven't they? I haven't even noticed it because I've not been watching the Sky broadcast because it's probably extremely depressing for them. Hang on! Car on track! Ring, 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 ring! Car on track! Guan Yu Zhou in the stake, he's out. And with 20 minutes remaining, Zhou Guan Yu comes out on the Inters. to probably do just one lap and then come back in, let's be honest. Fuck me, this is shit, isn't it? There's not even anything on Twitter. Oh mate, the traffic situation in Sector 1 during quali is going to be horrible. So many drivers are going to lose lap times because of it. Like, it's going to be horrible. By the way, Valtteri Bottas has also just come out. And he is on his way. Yeah, I've lost it. Guan Yu... Guan Yu Zhou goes straight back in the pits after coming out. You can't make this shit up, can you? I believe Bottas has actually stayed out and is going for a lap. No, I'm lying. No, he hasn't. There's a very high probability that Bottas is just going to go straight back in the pits as well. Holy shit, how crap has this been? Valtteri Bottas come straight back into the pit. So once again, with 16 minutes left, we have no cars on track. Still no cars on track. Come on, someone just take your fancy. Sky Sports F1 on Twitter with a nice typo. They put in quotation marks. It's not over yet. Full stop. Quotation mark. Little graph going upwards. Nice. And then it says under it, Lewis Hamilton believes Mercedes are yet to master car. Ah yes, Lewis Hamilton believes that Mercedes are yet to master car. But don't worry, they can do it soon. Still no cars on track, 14 and a half minutes remaining. I would love for this session to end right now. Can they just red flag it and say the session will not be resumed so I can go to bed? I'm fucked. This stream you're currently watching might be one of the most boring streams on the history of this platform for two reasons. One, there's been 2 cars throughout the entire 50 minutes so far. And 2, I am so tired, I can't bring any energy or hype to this stream. I'm fucked. I've been up for so fucking long. Apparently, it's just been confirmed that Antonelli, that 17-year-old or whoever the fuck he is, who everyone thinks is a superstar. I don't rate him as much. I think he's a bit shit. I will change my mind come the end of this F2 season. I just think I would rather see him in F2 first. Apparently he's going to be doing a season. He's going to be doing a test in a 2021 spec Mercedes. According to Will Buxton, it's now legal to get your drivers to do a test in a 2022 spec car, which of course is very similarly ruled to what they're like now, with the ground effect and the weight and the whips. Obviously, the 2021 cars were the last true greats of the sport. They were still wide and long, but they were nowhere near as flabby. They still looked sleek. They still had, they looked like stealth fighters, you know? They actually looked like they cut through wind, whereas the cars now, they're just fucking whales. Like, I don't know if anyone else notices this, but when you watch F1 and you see a car go past, let's say Maggots and Beckett's, and the other one, you see a 2021 car or a 2020 car go through there, it looks insane, unbelievably fast. You can't fathom it, right? But then you look at a 2022 3 or 4 car, it looks reasonably slow. And it's the same with the Australia fast left-right chicane after the massively long straight in Sector 1. You know, oh no, Sector 2, sorry. You see a 2021 car or a 2020 car or any car before that go through there, it is so unfathomably quick that you don't even know how the drivers can see where they're going. And then you look at the 2022 3 and 4, it's still quick, but it only looks half as quick because the cars are so fat. And it doesn't look like they're cutting through air as much. Of course, these cars are still ridiculously quick. In fact, Verstappen in Jeddah actually beat his 2021 lap. Some people did some very estimated calculations and worked out what his 2021 pole lap would have been. Of course, he binned it. Apparently in 2024 he actually beat that, and of course, well, he must have, because he broke the lap record. So these cars are still by no means slow. I would just rather have that sleek design. And once again, Zhou Guanyu comes out on track with just over 10 minutes remaining, and he is going to come out on the inters. I think what F1 should do is get a 2016 car, give it ground effect, give it the same slipstream kind of rules we have now, where you can follow close. So take a 2016 car, make it so they can follow each other closely, and then give it modern safety features, including the halo. That would be the best thing ever seen in Formula 1. Imagine those small, tiny cars which barely weigh anything, blistering around with the modern safety and the ground effect aero rules where you can stick close to people. The racing would be so good, because you could barely fit a car wheel to wheel around most tracks anymore. These cars are so fucking wide. Anyway, Valtteri Bottas has just come out the pits as well, so In this entire session, 51 minutes worth, we have seen both RBs, both Stakes, Alex Albon, Oscar Piastri, and Lewis Hamilton. Those are the only drivers we have seen come out of the pit lane and go on the track in this 51-minute session. Everyone else, not even bothering. And honestly, there's only 10 minutes left. They might just not bother at all. So, seems like Logan Sargent getting away with it a little bit there, because Williams couldn't repair his car in time for FP2. He ain't giving much of a disadvantage anyway, because no one else has done FP2. So there you go. Little tweet from the Mercedes AMG F1 News account. They say, it has been reported 90% of Mercedes employees want Max Verstappen as their driver for 2025. For 2026, Mercedes currently has by far the best numbers on the new engines. The Stuttgart Group would also offer a lucrative long-term advertising ambassador contract. As if Red Bull haven't given Verstappen an advertising contract. Red Bull are literally only as big as they are because of their unique extreme advertising. Fuck off. I hate Mercedes. I hate everyone who works for them that we know of. I hate their fan base. They're some of the worst people in the world. And can you imagine how many Ferrari fans Ferrari's going to gain next year when Hamilton moves there? It's going to be insane. By the way, Zhou Guanyu, he's come straight back in the pits. Valtteri Bottas has come straight back in the pits. And Alex Albon has come out. And we have a brand new driver has blessed the Suzuka circuit. We have two brand new drivers. The Hasses of Magnussen and Hulkenberg have come out the pits for the final 7 minutes of this session. Magnussen and Hulkenberg on the soft tyres. So is it dry enough for slicks? If it is, we might see some quali hot laps near the end. That would be a lovely surprise. Fun little statistic for you. Oscar Piastri has outscored Alpine all by himself since his F1 debut in 2023. Alpine, throughout the entire 2023 season and 2024, has accumulated 120 points. Oscar Piastri has scored 125 points just on his own. So I suppose you could say that McLaren move was ingenious. Well done. I need this session to end badly. Oscar Piastri's just come out of the pits. Alex Albon has gone straight back in. What's the fucking point? You might as well just watch the others. Crying out loud. My fuck, Twitter's boring, innit? By the way, Kevin Magnussen has come back into the pits. Nico Hulkenberg has actually stayed out for a lap. This is rare. 5 minutes remaining and one car has come out on track. One. Fucking unreal, mate. Honestly. Just looking at some debates on Twitter about what happened to the old Ricardo of like 2020, and it's a good point. Because obviously Ricardo in 2020 was best of the rest by a mile. He was fast. He was incredibly fast in that Renault. And then it's gone wrong, and yet only 3-4 years later, which of course ain't very long when you think about it, and he is now one of the worst drivers on the grid. I mean, who's worse? Magnussen, Sargent, and Joe. Everyone else is better than Ricardo. It's a very strange situation. Hulkenberg come back in the pits. The stakes have come back out, and I believe Piastri is actually going for a lap. Twitter is shit, isn't it? Bloody hell. Oh my god, what a time to be alive. Oscar Piastri goes faster with a 1 minute 39.1. And with 2 minutes remaining, Lewis Hamilton has come out of the pits. The state cars have stayed in, and Piastri was on the softs. What were we seeing in practice 1? Wasn't it 1? Yeah, it's a 1 minute 30. So we are currently 9 seconds off the pace. Piastri on the softs, Hamilton on softs, the Stake F1 team cars on the Inters, the Ferraris are coming out now, Leclerc on the softs, Sainz on the softs, and there's 1 minute 45 left. I doubt they can even get round in time for a lap. So this is probably, once again, like we saw in FP1, just a chance for the drivers to do a couple practice starts. Tsunoda also coming out, as is Lando Norris. Tsunoda currently stopped in the pit lane. Okay, he's off now. Albon coming out as well. Lando on the... Everyone's coming out on brand new softs, but I think it's too late. I think it is too late to get round. Yeah. It's definitely too late to get round and begin your lap. They're not going to make it in time. That's just... Could they do it like 20 seconds earlier? Like, was it really that difficult? Apparently Alex Albon said just on the radio just now, yes, it's ready for slicks. So that's why we're seeing a lot of soft tyre runners pop out, but still. It's fucking shit, isn't it? Hulkenberg has come out as well, as is Magnussen. There's 20 seconds left. Will we actually see some laps though? Like some actual cars driving laps in the Formula 1 practice session here in the Japanese Grand Prix? Sainz. Well done. Good job. Sainz. Oh. Visa Cash App RBF1 team just tweeted, we need to talk at Oscar Piastri because he's fucking gone quickest. That's hilarious. It's not real, it's a bit dead. Session over. My goodness. That might take the cake for the worst Formula 1 session I've ever watched in my 3 years of watching this sport. 4 years. Wow. We do have a couple drivers doing laps, though. Hamilton has gone fastest in Sector 2. 4 tenths up on pastry, but he was 1.2 seconds back through Sector 1, so I think Hamilton will probably just go P2. And there it is. Leclerc, Sainz, and Norris are all doing laps, so I'll wait for them to finish, and then I will go ahead and tell you the final finishing orders, or there isn't really much to go over. There really isn't. Where's Verstappen? He's not even come out. He's not bothered. He's literally just, he's gone home. Do you know what I mean? He's fucked off. He's already back home on fucking iRacing, getting ready for the 12 hours of Bathurst. Like, he's not even here. Leclerc goes P3. I believe Norris is still on a lap. Yes, he is. Carlos Sainz is still on a lap as well. But Sainz is way off it, and Norris is there. Norris is yeah, a little bit. Diddy bit, not really. Kind of. Piastri also going for a lap. Has Norris given up? No idea. No. Sainz goes P6. Norris is going to go P6. And then Piastri, who's currently P1, is he's given up his lap, and he stays P1. And there we have it. Oh no, we have one more lap to look at. Never mind, no we don't, he's given up. Right, your final finishing order for what is the worst practice session, the worst F1 session I have ever watched in my life, is as follows. Oscar Piastri takes the cake, takes the W here in Japan in practice 2 within 1 minute 34.7, 4.7 seconds away from the fastest FP1 time. P2, half a second back exactly, is Lewis Hamilton on the softs with a 35.2, and then we have Leclerc 3.5 seconds back with a 38.7 on the softs. And then we have Sonoda, a 40.9 on the inters. Ricciardo, a 41.9 on the inters. Norris, a 44.9 on the softs. Sainz, a 52.5 on the softs. Bottas, a 56 dead on the softs. Hulkenberg's just gone P8 with a 55.1. Ocon, a 59.1. Guan Yu Zhou, a 2 minutes 3.3. And of course, the GOAT! Alex Albon, a 2 minutes 3.8. What a driver. Unbelievable performance here in practice 1. Unbelievable scenes. Right, I need to go to bed really, really bad. I'm absolutely slaughtered. I'll be back at 3:20 UK time in the morning on Friday. Well, actually, it would turn Saturday at that point, wouldn't it? For practice 3, and then at 6:50 AM tomorrow, we have quali. And don't forget, at 2 PM, so only in 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. In about 6 hours, I have a new YouTube video premiering that is an absolute banger, and it's my first video in just over a week because I'm finally back from my break. So you go watch that. It'll be a massive, massive moment. Fuck man, I'm probably delusional, I know. I'd really appreciate it. Do you know what I mean? If you go and watch that video. But anyway, I'm gonna head off. I'll see you tomorrow at 3:20. See you then. Bye bye. See ya. See ya. See ya.